Hello, friends. I have literally never been compelled to go live immediately. Um, I am still getting set up, but I saw a video that I watched like the first 20 seconds of. It says I watched the first 20 seconds of this video and I needed to blind react to it. I have a lot of stuff planned in the new year, and this is like kind of a perfect segue. But you know what? Real quick, actually, I'm going to let my poor dog out of her kennel, and she's going to sit next to me because she is a whiner. Y'all could probably hear her whining. Hi, Minerva. Come on, go couch. To the couch. Oh my god, I love puppies. They're kind of crazy. I have to reset my audio now because of the dog. No, I don't. Okay, we're good. She like launched herself out of the kennel onto the couch and disconnected my microphone because that's what she does. She's excuse me, she's a German lab or German Shepherd lab mix, and so she thinks that she's like Superman. Anyway, so here's what we're gonna do. If y'all watched my last live, you know that I covered. Will you lay down? Why are you so hyper? Come here. Shh, simmer. Good girl. Okay. If y'all watched my last live, then you know that I covered the resilient Jenkins stuff, which meant, well, I didn't really cover the resilient Jenkins so much as I talked about the people who were talking about the resilient Jenkins. And one of those people, her name is RadiantBritt. That's what her handle is online. She's kind of awful in terms of content creation. She's one of those reaction channels that exclusively kind of like covers drama without adding any like real commentary to it. She really enjoys making random shit up just to make people look bad, that kind of thing. So we're going to look at a video of hers that she just posted. Full disclosure, I've been working on I remember telling y'all that I was going to do 3 lives about the coverage of the really resilient Jenkins. I was going to do a video about rights and rights, a video about RadiantBritt, and a video about Cursed Eye. And then a whole lot of shit with the resilient Jenkins popped off. And I decided instead I'm going to do a massive video. I'm still in the process of scripting this. I'm going to do a massive video about coverage in general. And we're going to be featuring people like RadiantBritt. We're going to be featuring people like Cursed Eye, Queen of Karma on both sides. Val says, I'm here, but I'm being harassed by a cat. That's fine. I'm being harassed by a German Shepherd mix who thinks that she's the size of a Chihuahua. So all is well. These animals just love to harass us. We're busy, God. Anyway, the video I'm working on will feature RadiantBritt, Cursed Eye, Queen of Karma on both sides, because I want to talk about how coverage impacts people, but I also want to talk about the way that coverage in general is. And Queen of Karma is kind of one of those creators that's been on both sides of that. Like the coverage of her has made her worse in some cases. To be super freaking clear so no one can misconstrue what I'm saying, I am not talking about the coverage that Val has done on Beth. I am talking about other creators' coverage of her specifically to rile her up. I'm talking about like the professor's shitty Photoshop jobs that he did just to make Queen of Karma upset, right? I really want to talk about how coverage works and how it actually just adds to the problem. So, but the resilient Jenkins are a perfect example of that, and that's why I'm really invested in covering RadiantBritt. And so I've been watching some of her videos. Val, darn, you're not exposing me today. I was hoping. There's nothing to expose yet. You gotta like slip me something to expose you for. We can't even start our enemy's arc because you haven't given me anything to be like angry about. God, Val, get on it. Anyway, so I've been watching RadiantBritt's videos to collect clips and to really like cover her madness, right? And there's this video she did. It looks like she released this yesterday. Yeah, 23 hours ago. Okay. Oh, and now there's a cat behind me also harassing me. I don't know if you can hear his bell, but he's like, yeah. Anyway, okay, let me share my screen. And as Val so kindly reminded me, uh, to share the tab audio as well. So we're gonna do that. Okay, let's see if I can make it work. Oh my god, this woman.
It's very interesting.
Okay, so we're gonna start this video. I got 20 seconds in before I was like dying laughing. This woman is not okay. So, okay, let me start over. For those who are not up to date with the resilient chicken stuff, basically a whole bunch of stuff has happened. Their youngest child they are claiming has had 3 seizures in the last couple weeks. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with the resilient Jenkins, including a potential pregnancy scare because of some rage bait that Stephanie Jenkins posted. So RadiantBritt here has been covering all of that because she posts every day. That's another reason that I really strongly dislike her content in particular. She looks for something to bitch about every single day. And like, if you're looking for stuff to complain about all the time, are you like a happy person? Like, are you okay? Like, calm down. Okay. Anyway, so she posted a video pretty recently, and this is a video that she's posted here is a reaction to someone's comment on her post. So, and this video is titled, what did she even title this? Hold on. I have to find my mouse. Looks like I have to quit the resilient Jenkins and other terrible parents. Okay. Let's find out. Why is my cursor gone? Do y'all know where my cursor's gone? It's just like missing. I don't know where we're at. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Hey you guys, it's Britt tonight. We're here with a little bit of a different video. I received a comment from somebody that was siding with Steph Thompson, Steph Jenkins, whatever you want to call her. And this
Spaghetti model, or I'm just gonna call you Spaghetti. Why is my mouse being so weird? What the heck is going on? Hello? It's like that's why it's being weird. I have discovered it, sort of. Spaghetti, this is the family of 15 in a studio apartment. No, this is the family of 7 that was in a 1-bedroom apartment. But now they are living in a hotel room because they were evicted for non-payment of rent, which is, a choice, I suppose. Let's turn the CC on. There we go.
comment called me a childless harpy. And while I typically do not pay people like this any mind, I thought it was very interesting because I've been hearing this argument since 2021 when I initially started covering family vloggers. It's the comment of, you don't have children, you're not allowed to criticize these family vloggers and mommy influencers online because you don't have kids. I think it's a
I think that kind of okay, I was kind of close. Yeah, I mean, you were pretty close. I think that is a disingenuous argument. I don't think that you should avoid talking about or criticizing parents just because you're not a parent yourself. So if that's the direction, and remind y'all, I'm blind reacting to this. I watched 20 seconds, haven't watched any further until now. If the direction that she's taking her argument is just because I'm not a mom doesn't mean I'm not allowed opinions, fine. Something tells me she's going to say even more heinous shit, though. We'll see.
A very boring and stupid argument, but I had a few extra minutes today and I figured let's go ahead and talk about it. It's been quite a while and I really want to hear from y'all. Do you agree? If you do, state your argument in the comments below, but I will share my thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching.
I'm not going to lie, her intros piss me off. This is let me go back because maybe y'all have never read it.
In the comments below, but I will share my thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching.
Her little thingy says, "This is an opinion-based commentary video. Opinions are not facts. Please do your own research into the subjects and never send hate or negativity to the people or brands featured." This is not remotely what she actually thinks. I want that noted. She frequently calls for hate to be sent to the people she talks about. So, um, but anyway, this is not commentary either. This is just reaction content. She's not adding anything to the conversation. She's not doing any, um, you know, oh, sorry. Val's comment distracted me. Val says, I mean, I think if you're not a parent, you need to be extra careful to not present an uninformed opinion, but it can depend on the severity of what you see. Exactly. I feel like most people, parent or not, if you are at the grocery store and you witness a parent spanking their child because their kid is crying because you said, no, you can't have candy, I think most people are going to have a snap judgment in that moment. I know for me, I'm going to think, first of all, spanking is wrong. Um, like full stop. Like you should not spank your child. Why are you hitting a child? You would not hit an adult. And then if you would hit an adult, you need to be taken care of. For me, I would think this person doesn't have the tools in their parenting toolbox to be able to handle this situation appropriately. This person obviously believes that spanking is okay. Maybe they are a terrible person, or maybe they just don't know why spanking is wrong. Other people are going to be like, make a snap judgment. Oh, that person's doing great. That kid's going to grow up to be a well-adjusted member of society or whatever. But even if you're not a parent, you can make a judgment. I don't know if y'all heard that. Minnie is like inspecting my microphone. Minnie's my giant dog. Even if you're not a parent, in that moment, you're going to have an opinion, right? And having an opinion is okay. Even if you like, if that is not just a spanking in the candy aisle, if that's like a full blown, I'm beating this, um, you know, KID in the grocery store, eh, stepping in, even as a non parent, would be the appropriate action, right? But like, a non-parent making a snap judgment about, oh, they buy Love's brand of diapers instead of Pampers. Clearly, they're not, they don't care enough about their kid because they don't buy the expensive brands, right? That's stupid. And like, that's not an opinion you can even make if you're not a parent, because first of all, Pampers suck, Love's are superior all the way. Second of all, if you don't have a real world knowledge of like why different diaper brands work better for your specific kid or whatever, you don't get an opinion on that. You can have your opinion, but it's stupid and it's baseless. Not Love versus Pamper. Love is great. They're such great diapers. Like that's exclusively the diapers that we used when my kids were little, because Pampers sucked. Pampers leak all over the goddamn place. Huggies were okay. Huggies were okay. But then again, my youngest is now going to be 16 in February. So maybe diapers are different nowadays. Who knows? So yeah, you can definitely have an opinion as a non-parent, but there are some things that like your opinion just doesn't fucking matter because you haven't lived that that experience, right? So when it comes to the resilient Jenkins, Britt can have these opinions. She can say she thinks these are shitty parents because of the things that these people are showing the world. I will not disagree that Britt can't have an opinion here. I do love the idea that someone called her a childless harpy, because I do tend to agree with that sentiment. She's kind of a harpy in the derogatory sense. But I mean, the things that the resilient Jenkins are doing, the decisions they're making as parents are bad decisions. And it doesn't matter if you have shot a child out of your crotch cannon or not, you're allowed to say that's bad and you're doing your children dirty. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what her opinion is.
All right, you guys. So, aside from the very obvious fact of why is this person even thinking of siding with Steph, we know exactly how awful Stephanie is and all of the things that she has done to inflict pain, trauma, and the most heartbreaking memories upon her children. It's all been documented. I've covered it in great detail on this channel. I have a whole playlist. If you're interested, you can check that out. So I want to kind of put that to the side and let's just talk about this concept that some people have of if you are not a parent to children, you are not allowed to give criticism. Let's talk about what this commenter said. Of course, I will post the comment right here where I was called a childless harpy.
Oops, messed up my mic. Let's see. Let me see if I can read it to y'all. No, not. I did not mean to do that. Why did it do that? Escape. Escape. Okay. Love the childless harpy telling any mom anything about being one. Stick to the gypsy of it all, radioactive Brit. Says at biggest of the backs. Uh, and this was on Radiant Brit's video about the Resilient Jenkins allegedly having CPS involved in their case. I put this in my script for when I'm talking about the coverage of Resilient Jenkins, but um, CPS is almost assuredly guaranteed involved in this case. They are in a motel that is also a shelter that operates. Half of it operates as like a shelter, and the other half operates as like a motel. And this is Oregon that they're in. They're in Portland, and most assuredly, when you go to apply for like help in terms of like finding a homeless shelter or something, you have social workers. Like they're not just alone. They're not just out there floundering. Are they refusing help? Absolutely. Stephanie Jenkins has admitted too much. But CPS is already aware of this case. I can almost guarantee it. Does that mean that the children are going to be removed? No. CPS doesn't like to remove children. And they recognize that homelessness is often temporary. And if the parents can show that they are working to better their situation, they're not going to remove the children from the home because there's a roof over their head and it's better to be with your parents than in a foster home. Hello, Minerva. Can I help you, madam? Spaghetti said, I handmade my child's organic, locally sourced cotton reusable urine collecting pads. Val said, my son had kid cuisine for the first time last night. Man, I had kids cuisine so much as a kid, and then I like was feeling a little nostalgic for that brownie, and then I went to get it, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life, and I cannot believe I ate that as a child. The word finally in the title. Yeah, oh. Yeah, social workers are involved even if you get like EBT money. Yeah, Val, like that it's the same in Texas. If you're on like TANF, which is what we call it down here, uh it there are caseworkers, and if you like, because you have to prove your situation to get things like food stamps and TANF and stuff like that. So caseworkers exist. There are government officials involved in everything. What are you doing, Minerva? Come here, madam. Learn to chill. It was the brownie that sold me too, but I was wise enough to live vicariously. Did he like it though? That's the important thing. Did Boo actually like the kid cuisine, or was he like, Mom, your cooking is better? What the hell is this shit? Okay, so yeah. Love the childless harpy, spelled wrong, telling any mom anything about being one. Spaghetti says, I never got kids cuisine because I always demanded a Hungry Man. That was my brother. My brother always wanted the Hungry Man meals. And we like really liked the like beer battered chicken one that came with like the, yeah. Val says he did. Okay, but he also wanted more food. Yeah. There's not enough food in there.
Which harpy was misspelled, obviously. It's giving this kind of criticism that I've heard for years of you're not a mother to children, so you're not allowed to critique or reprimand people that are mistreating their children publicly, exploitation, abuse, trauma. You're not allowed to talk about that or give your opinion on that because you are not a mother to children. When these family vloggers and influencers or whatever they are post their videos, it's for public consumption. And as I've always said, Public videos are up for public commentary, public discussions, and oftentimes criticism. Because the
You sure are right, Britt. That's why we're publicly criticizing your public statements of stupidity right here. I don't disagree with her in terms of like if you post something publicly, you are basically inviting critique or criticism. You don't have to watch the critique. And I think that that's where some people get it wrong. It's like you don't have to engage in the responses, in the criticisms, in the discourse about something that you say publicly, right? Like the Jenkins don't have to engage with their haters. They choose to. RadiantBritt tends to ignore her haters, her detractors, etc., which is kind of why it's like weird that she's making this video about this person. She must feel really strongly about this, and this much must have touched a nerve. But yeah, so I don't completely disagree with this point. Oh god, 9 minutes. 9 minutes of this video. Oh, and her voice.
things that are being posted are concerning. And if you think that you're just going to post that and people, whether they have kids or don't have kids, are going to just ignore it, then you have no clue what the hell you're doing on social media in 2025.
Actually, I do want to touch on that a little bit. I think that people who say just because I post it, like, because Stephanie Jenkins, sorry, her name isn't Stephanie Jenkins. Stephanie Thompson is kind of guilty of this. I don't understand all you haters, or I don't understand why you feel like you have to comment or whatever. Well, because you posted it publicly, first of all. Second of all, you posted it publicly for a reason. You want a reaction. The amount of rage bait this woman posts, she wants the reaction from people. She wants her haters to like say shit so that she gets more views. That's just like we don't post content because we don't want people to see it. Does that make sense? Like when I posted my first ever video on YouTube, I did not expect people to see it, and then I got thousands of views because because I had no idea how the algorithm worked. Did I hope that a few people would see what I was talking about and see my opinion? Yes. Yes, I did. Did I expect thousands of people to see what I was saying about Kimberlea? No. No, I did not. So, but like I didn't post it thinking, God, I hope no one sees this. Gosh, I just really hope that this public content I'm putting out there no one says anything about. I hope I get no comments or likes or anything. We post content because we want it to be seen, right? It's we want the validation of someone else out there, some, in a lot of cases, a stranger to be like, yeah, your opinion, I see you, I agree with you. Or sometimes some of us really like an argument and, post a hot topic opinion so that people can argue at us. That doesn't, no one's out here posting shit just to post it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Sorry for the tangent. I'm not that sorry.
Because people are no longer in the lane of, well, family vloggers, they can be kind of entertaining, a little relatable sometimes. The idea of them being tolerable in 2025 is no longer the popular opinion to have, because we see the hurt, we see the negative impact that this kind of tragic digital footprint is going to have on these kids for the rest of their lives. You do not need to have children in your care in order to have common sense, in order to call out neglect and terrible parenting being filmed for public consumption and to collect dollars off of. You do not need to have children to have that very common logic that a lot of us have. There's a really interesting divide that I've noticed where, no, I don't have children, but there are many, many people that I have, come into contact with, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, where I respect parents. I respect people that have made this decision and it was the best decision they ever made to have children and raise them. And I truly do respect that. It's not always returned from when people who have kids are talking to people that don't have kids, there's not always that kind of common respect of, I'm so happy for you. You're doing a great job. It's not necessarily returned in, your decisions are valid and I respect you and we can have a conversation about it. I don't always see it being so, uh, kind of a two-way road, so to speak, on we don't have to have come to the same, life altering decisions to be able to respect one another. I recently talked to someone over on my Instagram, and random plug, if you're interested, you can go follow me over there. It's the same username. I post random stories of Axel or little things that I'm doing throughout the day, a lot of opinions and whatever. But I was interacting with one of my followers over there, and I had posted something about how difficult it is to be a parent. And the follower responded and said, parenting is not for the weak. It's really crazy. Everything's, nonstop all the time. It's really difficult. And I responded to her and said, I respect you. I respect the people that are in the boat that you're in and are loving that decision, even though it comes with its challenges. But I don't always hear that same level of understanding being sent to people without children. And I want to.
I don't like this example. Like I'm sitting here listening to her and I'm trying to understand like why it's just super irritating. I think because it's not the same level of like child-free people didn't like I, I respect the hell out of my child-free friends. I even respect the idea of being child-free. Um but like I don't think does she want is she saying she wants kudos for that? Does she say or is she saying she wants people to be like, I respect you and admire you for the decision not to have kids? Because maybe it's just the communities I'm hanging out with. This is totally anecdotal and it could be confirmation bias, but like I see a lot of that between my child free and my child having friends, and like in the people I interact with. People who are child free are very understanding of I only know one person who just like absolutely hates children, but it's like totally a trauma thing and she deals with that on her own, right? But like every person who's child free that I know is totally respects my parent friends, and all of my parent friends who have child free friends respect the decision. But respect doesn't mean I have to like bow down and be like, good job for not filling your womb with more mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, it feels like, and I could be wrong. It could just be because I don't like RadiantBritt. It could be because I don't like the way she talks, and it could be because of all the hyperbole she speaks with. But it feels like she's like, I'm child free and I deserve kudos because it's hard to. I don't know. Does that make sense? The word respect does feel weird in this. See, I'm not okay. I'm glad I'm not alone in that. This woman's hands is a bit much, and I talk with my yeah. I also talk with my hands a whole lot. Like I'm talking with my hands right now. Y'all can't see it, but you can probably hear it because I'm loud. But yeah, she's so movie, and I can't watch her videos. I have to listen to her videos because her highlighter and concealer combination around her eyes and on her like T-zone distracts me so much. Like they make makeup for cameras, yeah, like camera lighting. Like use it, you please, because this is blinding me a little bit. People don't actively disrespect child-free people, do they? Mostly they insinuate they're free. So I do know a couple people who are very they feel offended by child-free people, and so they make fun of child-free people. Like I don't think it comes from a place of like a complete blatant disrespect. I think that they're made uncomfortable because they think that child-free people judge them just for having children. And that's only true a little bit of the time, right? I was for a long time a member of this Facebook group called I Will Scoop My Abortion Out of the Toilet and Mail It to You. That was really full of a lot of child free women who were, as a point of protest and regaining their agency and their voice, that they were very vocally child free and talked about how they hated children. If you talk to each of these women individually, they don't actually hate children. They don't want to interact with them, and that's okay. And I think that parents conflate the desire to be child free with a hatred of children, and that's not the case. So I'm struggling with the highlights. See? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not alone on that. Oh, me too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like family members will be against child free people more like exactly like grandma wants great grandbabies, right? So she's gonna be like, why haven't you had kids yet? Get out there and make babies, whatever. Ugh. Her around the eye makeup is too much. It is too much, and she needs to get the photo setting powder. Like it's not even that expensive. You can get it at CVS. You can well, CVS is hella expensive. I don't know about where y'all are at, but CVS here, they are so expensive. Just go to Walmart. But you can get it at Walmart. Like Elf sells a really cool um setting powder that like doesn't reflect light, like it absorbs light. It's so good for pictures. Val, she needs lipstick while we're making notes. And I do want to be clear, this is not a her point isn't valid because of the way she looks kind of discussion, which I know that both you understand. That it's definitely a this is distracting and I can't even like understand what she's talking about. Like I can't watch the video. I have to listen to the video. And I'm just saying from a person who criticizes others' appearance so much, she should not come on camera looking like this. Maybe I'm the asshole. And maybe this is why she used to do so many videos driving around in her car. Ugh.
Make it very clear the not kind of sharing respect was not anything to do with that follower. I'm just talking about this as like a general thing that I have seen. I don't want this video to be repetitive and obnoxious because, like I said, I think that most of us can understand that you don't have to be a parent to have common sense and to be really unfiltered. Many of the parents that I have covered on this channel are not qualified to raise children. They're just not, point blank, period. The content shows it. And Steph and Drew,
I would love for her to sit down and make a rubric. What qualifies you to be a parent? Because biologically speaking, the thing that makes you qualified for parenthood is the ability to get the sperm to the egg. So, what in your mind, Britt, you'll never watch this, but if you ever watch this, tell me, I want a bulleted list. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can plug in your ideas into AI and, have it spit back out what you think your thoughts are at me. What qualifies a human being to be a parent? Because here's the thing. When people first have kids, like when I first had my oldest, I was 17 years old. I was not by most people's standards qualified to be a parent. But I now have a 17, almost 18-year-old who is in National Honor Society. They are in the National Art Honor Society. They are in the National Thespian Society. They're doing all this volunteer work. They are an A honor roll student. They're in dual credit classes with their local college. They are so well adjusted. And like the other day, they were telling me a story about how they were in class and, oh God, what did they say? Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone because it was so funny. Oh, their teacher was asking, I think it was their history teacher, was asking, why do y'all think that ships are called she? Like, why do you think men call ships she? Or why do you think they call the ocean she? And my kid was like, what did they say? It was so good. Oh yeah, the teacher was like, I've always wondered why men always call stuff like that she. And Che replied, because it's something that men think that they own. And apparently it caught the teacher so off guard. And I was so proud. It was such a proud mom moment for me. Anyway, yeah, that's the real reason boats are called she. Let's be real. That freeze frame though, yeah. I'm getting really good at like pausing on the most unflattering image of a human being. I'm just saying. Blew her nose and forgot to touch up. Yeah, probably. Maybe she's sick. Because ships are sexy. Men can be sexy, Val. God. Are you saying that only women can be sexy? Gender essentialist. God. You heard it here folks. Here first, folks. Her undernose is pinker than her lips, and the distraction more than the shiny coloring. Yeah, it's all a lot. I'm just saying, she opened this forum by constantly having critiques about people's appearance. There's a whole video where she talks about Stephanie's appearance, which, I'm sorry, Stephanie Thompson just had a baby less than a year ago. I didn't look like anything except for an Adam Sandler cosplayer for like the first 2 years of my kid's life. So, yeah. I mean, no one wants a hairy, muscular boat. Oh, hairy boats. That's just a horrible idea. Isn't that what like barnacles do? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Who are definitely in that position. So I found it interesting. That person left the comment trying to insult me and tell me to stick to the Gypsy Rose Blanchard topic. I haven't covered Gypsy on any kind of consistent basis in months now because it's boring. And how many times can I say the little gremlin should not be a celebrity? But when I saw that comment come through, I just kind of shook my head. I actually had to look up what is a harpy. The word harpy is often used as a derogatory term for a very unpleasant woman. And I might be unpleasant depending on the lens that you're viewing me through. I'm, in fact, very pleasant. I just so happen to be very unfiltered when it comes to my stance on terrible people, whether they are influencers, family.
Calm down, Joffrey. Are you the king too? You're so pleasant. You're totally not a harpy. Not at all. Yeah. Oh my God, Val. She had to look up, and I knew as soon as she was like spelled wrong. I was like, "Ma'am, you didn't know what a harpy was before." And now we have confirmation. Also, loving the confirmation that she's not covering the Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff right now because it's quote unquote boring. So that implies that she is covering the Stephanie Thompson stuff, the Resilient Jenkins stuff, because it's entertaining to her. This is not good. And she's never claimed to be a journalist, to be fair, but this is shit journalism. Like, she's getting facts wrong. She's not doing any research, except for, I guess, to look up the insults that people throw at her. When she's so unbothered, y'all. She is so unbothered by this that all she did was shake her head and then make a 10-minute video about it.
Vloggers, whatever it is. No, I don't like what you're doing. This is my channel where I talk about the things that I'm interested in and or my audience is interested in. And that's what I've been doing for over 5 years now, believe it or not. So either way, I hope that person has the day that they deserve. And I'm done for tonight. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
The only redeeming quality about this woman is her dog is the most adorable thing. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cute. But she plays this video at the end of everything. So, like, whatever. Anyway, I find that entire video to be the day they deserve for calling an uptight woman a harpy. No joke. And is anyone else just like super sick of that? Have the day you deserve. It's not clever anymore. It was clever in like 2020. It stopped being clever in 2020. So anyway, the reason that I find her entire thing for this entire concept, the video from her, to be ridiculous is because her video let's see if I can find it. Did she have any shorts? Oh, okay. Anyway. And then she posts a Gypsy Rose Blanchard video. What? But didn't she just... Y'all, I'm done. Okay. I don't know what I've done to piss off my computer, but I've done something because the mouse just keeps disappearing. Okay. This is the video that she...
I make this. I make that.
Still do not see my social media thing as a job.
I would hope that the common...
Stop. Okay. My mouse is being so weird. I wonder if I need a new yeah, I could see it on the StreamYards things. That's what I'll do. I'll use the mouse on the StreamYards thing. I wish people would call me a harpy. You are a harpy. You call yourself Valkyrie. There are some historians that think that Valkyrie and harpies are much the same like from the same mold. So, I mean, you kind of call yourself a harpy if you listen to those historians, which I don't, but you know. Part one. Part one. Part one. That means tomorrow she's gonna come out with some other stupid video about Gypsy Rose Blanchard after just asserting that she's boring. And I mean, granted. Oh, what does Spaghetti say? Gypsy Rose is less than boring from any standpoint. If anything, she's too entertaining with her warped life choices. I'm not gonna lie, I have not followed any of the Gypsy Rose stuff. It's all a little bit too. It's a little bit too much. Like the Resilient Jenkins stuff for me is almost a little bit too much. Like it is a little bit I don't want to say traumatic and I don't want to say triggering, but the Resilient Jenkins stuff certainly makes me feel some type of way, right? Yes, Harpy 420 new alt. Okay, so this is the video. Let's see if we can find the comments, see what people said at the. Let's see. Where are the comments? Why am I always like this? I have it in a weird way. So I like never look at comments, to be honest. This is what? Hold on. Maybe they're at the bottom. They're not. Oh, they're there. Newest. No. Oh. That's a lot of comments. Let's go back to top. Maybe she deleted it or hid it. Look at you with premium. It comes with my Verizon. So. I guess maybe she hid the comment because I feel like there would be a lot of her followers commenting on that. But Resilient Jenkins finally have CPS on their necks. I got about this far in the video. See if I can find it. Where she's talking about she's just saying stupid shit. Hold on.
Some kind of response to her haters. In this video, she is clearly breastfeeding her infant. And number one, why are we posting that on social media? It's just weird. There have been many people call her out.
Why is it weird to feed your child on social media, Britt? Why is it weird to use boobs as they were intended? Like, oh my God, I fucking hate that stupid argument. Why are we like breastfeeding in public? Why are we like posting that on social media? You guys, that's weird. No, you know what's weird? You making it weird. Calm down. Show us how you really feel about it. Jeez. Ugh, gross.
Out for breastfeeding this infant while partaking in recreational rug use.
It's hard to like make videos when you start the camera and you just look at a person that doesn't even look like yourself anymore. The way I've lost myself to motherhood is not even a fucking joke anymore. I don't know what the fuck I would even start to wear if I started to change up my style, or if I wanted to wear makeup. Like honestly, would I go darker with the makeup? Would I go like colorful? Who the fuck knows? Because I just haven't been able to.
Ma'am, why are we talking about makeup? You are literally homeless and have children living in a cracker box with you. Why on earth would makeup or your personal...
I don't know, Britt. Maybe because aspirations are good. Aspirations help us to get ourselves out of. I'm not defending Stephanie. Do not get me wrong. I do not think she's a very good mother. I think that she has the potential to do better. I think she has the desire to do better. I don't think she has the tools or the skills to do better. But, so I'm not defending her, but I do think that having this shitty, stupid opinion, why are we talking about makeup? Your children are in a cracker box. Ma'am, what is she going to do in these 15 seconds that she's posting this video? Do you want her to like she's making money off of these videos, obviously. Perhaps she is just venting. And like, again, I can understand why they called her a childless harpy. I'm not gonna lie, because this is childless woman behavior right here. This is, I don't have children, but I'm going to sit in judgment of all mothers' behavior. This is completely inappropriate because, first of all, almost every mom, especially when you have a lot of kids, or especially when they're all a certain age, like when both of mine, because I had two under two, when both mine were really little, it was just so hard because I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anything. I was isolated because my husband at the time was a complete piece of shit. Also, found out recently that my ex watches my videos. Hi, I don't miss you. Anyway, um, oh my god, that was so rude. My I don't even know if I'm audible anymore. My freaking mouse dropped, and there's like a hotkey on my mouse that has a back button on it, and it hit that. Oh, my neighbors are passing the house playing Christmas music very loud. That's very cute, actually. Good job, guys. Let's go back to this. Okay. Anyway, I hit back. Luckily, StreamYards is kind and lets you go forward and re-enter the studio because otherwise, that could have been very unfun. Anyway, super isolated. There's a point in every mom's like journey where she's like, motherhood has taken everything from me, and that's because when you have a kid, you're expected to then only be mom. Like you're expected to only be a mother. You are no longer an individual with wants or needs or desires or anything. You are a a vessel that created life and therefore lost your own societally. Like that's just what society thinks about motherhood. So way to go, Britt, for continuing that narrative. Stephanie, while being kind of a shitty mom, deserves to talk about how much she wants makeup, how much she wouldn't know, like what she would want her style to be when she finally has the money. And notice she said if. She didn't say, I'm going shopping tomorrow and I don't know what I want to shop for. I don't know what I want my style to be. Help me out, guys. She said, if I started to try and change my style right now, I don't know what I would want it to be. And that's because when you have children, you lose your identity. Yes, she chose to have children. Yes, I chose to have children. Yes, most mothers choose children, right? That does not mean that we are not entitled to have a little bit of an identity crisis because the world has told us we no longer have one. We don't have an identity. Val says the depersonalization of mothers is pretty wild. It's insidious and it's everywhere.
Style be on any kind of priority list for you. And you look this way because of the choices that you are making, the things that you are partaking in. While you're literally homeless, your children are going through the worst time of their lives, and you are sitting here talking about, oh, dark makeup, colorful makeup, personal style. Jesus, take the wheel.
Put that kind of effort into myself in fucking years. And it's difficult because when I pull up a video and I try to like start talking to y'all, it's like, who the fuck even is that lady? Doesn't feel like me. But I digress. Tell me why, when I come from the hospital the other day, after spending I was there from like 5 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night.
For context, Stephanie posted a few days ago that she was in the hospital for kidney stones. And had to have a kidney stone removed. There's a lot of discourse on it. I've like got so many screenshots from this Facebook group. Y'all, they are insane in this Facebook group. Anyway, so she was in the hospital and there's a lot of discourse about it. But what she's about to talk about is basically she came home and the kids were well behaved because her husband took care of them, or not husband, her partner took care of them. Discourse about kidney stones. No joke. Like a bunch of people are like, oh, well, obviously she was in there because she was getting a DNC because of a miscarriage. First of all, what? Why are we saying shit without evidence? Why are we saying shit that just ain't true? Other people are like, she didn't have kidney stones. She was just pharmaceutical shopping, implying that she was like there for pills. That There's also no proof of that. Like, it doesn't matter. The only, like, quote unquote conspiracy theory that I saw that makes any sense is her going into the hospital just to get away from her kids for like a night, like to have a night of sleep that wasn't in a room with 6 other people. So, like, that's the only viable theory that I've seen. And honestly, I think she just was in the hospital for kidney stones. Kidney stones don't have to be so debilitatingly painful, and that's what people were saying. It's like she doesn't look like she's in that much pain. I didn't even know I had a kidney stone until they did a scan because I was in the hospital for something completely different. They did a scan and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you have this kidney stone. If it starts, it'll pass probably on its own, but if it starts to hurt really bad, come back." And then they treated me for what I was actually there for. It's like, you don't have to be in pain. God. Well, to be fair though, my pain threshold is like ridiculous. Oh, I named this video tattoos, anniversaries, and childless harpies. At the end of the video, before I go, someone remind me to talk about tattoos and anniversaries because that has nothing to do with RadiantBritt. She's just crazy.
The following day, Drew handled everything. Okay, he cleaned. The kids were all fed. I think even some of them took a fucking shower. I was just like, what's going on when I come back in here and all these kids are way the fuck better behaved for you?
Motherhood is not what has depleted her or made her look this way. Again, it's her lifestyle, the choices that she has made. And as far as Drew stepping up in any manner, yeah, like that's literally his job. Can we stop complimenting parents for doing the bare minimum? Bathing, cleaning, feeding their children.
Where was she complimenting him on that? She was bitching that the kids were more well behaved with him than with her, which is pretty common, honestly. Like, for any of you who don't have kids with a man, it's like you're there with them all the time. You're there with them all day if you're a stay-at-home mom. And then if you go away and then come back, kids are like suddenly so well behaved for dad because it's like the babysitter effect. Because, like in my case, my ex, he was just at work all the time. So the kids would be so much more well behaved for him because he was a novelty. I was mom. I am the safe place for kids to be shitty, right? Like, and that's something that I don't think a whole lot of people really understand about parenting either, is like when you're mom and you're the stay-at-home mom and you're like there with them all the time, if they're misbehaving all the time or they're having meltdowns all the time or if they're having tantrums all the time, you are their safe space. They act like that because you got them and they know that you have them, right? It's pretty, look, that's pretty well documented psychology right there, right? When they're with dad or when they're with the parent who's not around all the time, it's different. It's different because dad's gone all the time. So it's like, oh, well, dad's going to put on a movie and we're all going to sit down and watch a movie with dad because this is a really cool like night out, because mom's gone. So we can just be whatever. And then dad's like, okay, kids, let's go get in the bath. That sort of unknown thing about dad taking the kid to give them their bath and get them their dinner and stuff like that. It's a different routine. So they just follow what the babysitter is going to do. I mean, my kids are really well behaved and they like always have been really well behaved. So maybe it's different for kids who are not like mine, but that's how mine were. They were always really great with, babysitters and dad because dad acted like more of a babysitter than anything else. But yeah. Val says less time with kids means they care what you think more. Yeah. It's not untrue. Spaghetti says, I want that kind of kidney stone. I got the hurty kind. Ooh, I'm sorry. Ow. I can't even imagine. Mine didn't end up hurting. I think I just ended up passing it.
That's not worth a compliment. That is literally your job. You chose this. These kids did not ask to be here. And they damn sure didn't ask to be in this situation.
It's almost like a slap to the fucking face, Does this happen to anybody else where you just like, you let hubby take care of stuff for a minute and the kids are like perfectly behaved? What? Perfectly behaved? What? It just made no sense to me. I'm like, if this is how it's going to go down when you take care of the kids, why?
I don't have too many, no, I have a lot of criticisms about Stephanie, but I think one of my biggest ones is like her Krusty the Krab impression. Like when she does that voice, it makes me want to stab my earballs out. That was horrible. And she does that all the time.
the fuck am I not the one working? Currently, it's because he makes more money than I would be able to make starting any kind of entry job because I haven't been in the work field for a while. Really, the only thing I could go back with some kind of experience is caregiving. And I doubt they pay me as much as he's.
Remember how Steph wanted to sit on video and talk about how she makes more money than most of her haters and she's over here, you know, collecting those dollars. And now you're saying that money is a problem. But I thought social media was literally giving you what you wanted and more. So you could use it as a bragging right. I make this, I make that.
Still do not see my social media thing as a job when I probably make more than most of you. I could give a frick if you want to keep denying that that's a real thing.
And as far as the kids not listening to her and listening to Drew without any issue, I'm going to say this as blunt as possible. It's because your kids can't stand you. It's because
That is not, this is why you got called a childless harpy, Britt. This is why no one listens to your stupid fucking opinions and your stupid, greasy, shiny T-zone. God fucking damn it. Jesus H. Christ. Listen, kids of the age that Stephanie has, which they range from like 10 months oldish to up to, I think the oldest one is like 9 or 10 or something like that. Kids of that age who are homeless, they're going to school, their parents are well known on social media. These exactly, Spaghetti. Thank you. Kids love their parents even if they suck. Kids love their parents even if they suck. This has nothing to do with those kids not liking Stephanie. It's because the kids are dysregulated. They don't have a good routine. They're homeless. They're going through trauma day after day because they also go to public school and they're well known. And like their teachers know that they're homeless. Their peers know that they're homeless. Everybody knows that they're homeless and is going to treat them like they're homeless, whether or not they want to, whether it's the over kindness aspect of homelessness or it's the slight judginess of being homeless. When I was a kid, we lived in a hotel for a little while. It was between 6 months and a year. I was really little. I don't remember how long it was exactly, but I was homeless. That is homelessness. We had 3 kids and 3 adults living in a single hotel room for several months. My teachers knew our situation. My peers knew our situation. Do you know why my peers knew our situation? Our hotel was right across from the elementary school where we went to school. It affects you, and it affects these kids. Me and my brothers were so ill-behaved. We did not behave well. I was like running away all the time. I was trashing shit. My brother was doing weird shit. We were snappy. We were irritable. We weren't cleaning up after ourselves, you know. It had nothing to do with our love for our parents and had everything to do with we had no control over a situation that no one else had any control of either. And so we acted out. That's just what kids do. And that's why, Britt, you're being called a childless harpy who shouldn't. These are the kinds of opinions you can't have. Because you're stating this as fact. These are opinions and they're baseless. And I'm just going to say you're stupid. Like literally crack open a book because this is not. I'm going to say it again because this Spaghetti said it's super great. Kids love their parents even if they suck. Those kids love Stephanie. Those kids love Drew. Those are their parents. This has nothing to do with them hating Steph. Jesus Christ. Please don't have kids, Britt.
Because these children do not respect you as a parent, as a trash can in the gutter. They do not have any, like, they're not going to look to you and listen to any kind of direction that you are giving them.
So, I don't know, but it's a strong consideration that I've been wanting to go back to work. So y'all get a job. I've literally been wanting to go back to work for fucking months now.
And by the way, as I've said before, the eyes never lie. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes in this video and tell me that she's not telling on herself yet again.
No, it's just not in the books for us right now.
She also shared a video of making tacos for dinner. Nobody cares about that. What we care about is the fact that these children are in a really heartbreaking situation, and it seems to only get worse by the day. I don't know if she had a kidney stone. I don't know if that was just, a thing that she made up, I don't know if she made it up to go get pain meds at the emergency room. I don't know if she made it up to make content out of it. Maybe it was a little bit of both. Anybody current day that is supporting Steph and Drew, how do y'all do it? How do you do it when you see the things that have been unfolding for well over a year now, and the lack of change, the fact that things have only gotten worse for these children? I don't know how y'all do it. Like I said other times, I have to take her in doses because it honestly makes me so angry and I feel so powerless in this situation. If there was one good thing to come out of these recent seizures that the infant was supposedly going through, I hope that CPS is on her neck. I hope that CPS is watching all the videos, monitoring them, and
With what resources? With what resources? Do people think that there's just like an infinite amount of like CPS social workers and that they just sit around watching YouTube videos all the time? So one of the things that I'm talking about in the video that I'm working on, there was like this mass reporting scheme going on in one of the Brazilian Jenkins Facebook groups. A whole bunch of people were getting together to call CPS on the Jenkins. Don't do that. Okay? If you're mass reporting and you're like, if you're mass reporting someone to CPS or CAS or whatever you want to call it, all that does is make CPS less likely to engage in that, because then all they have to do is visit the home and be like, we got these calls saying this, and then all the person has to say is, yes, there are people on the internet who don't like my content, and that's it, right? It would probably be a little bit easier if everyone CPS involved film everything. Yeah. Kratos says CPS can only offer as much services as the state funds. Yes. And Oregon, where they're at, to be fair, is a wealthier state comparatively. I'm not going to say that they're like in even the top like 10%, but they do have more resources for families. And that's why they can have a like wait and see approach when it comes to, they're not going to remove these kids, like full stop. That's not going to happen. And the reason they're not going to remove those kids is because there is, as of yet, no evidence of sexual or physical violence against the children. Otherwise the children would be taken already. Right now the children are homeless. Lots of kids are homeless, especially in the Portland area. Portland has a ridiculously high homeless population. In the research that I'm doing for my video, I found some statistics that say that there are an alarming number of homeless families in Oregon. It's one of the top states in the country right now in terms of the homelessness crisis. And a lot of children are among those homeless families. So CPS isn't going to take children from a place and then put them with a bunch of strangers just because the internet is like, oh my God, they're homeless, guys. Even though the internet wants to pretend that Stephanie and Drew are doing a whole lot of drugs, which they could be. They do admit to marijuana usage or cannabis usage. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm missing comments. Let's see, I read that one. Oregon will do a lot to keep families together. The parents might be pushed to join programs. Yes, and I think that that's what's happening. Even Texas CPS does shit like that, and Texas CPS is among the worst in the country. Oregon CPS failed federal inspection twice while I was working in coordination with them for employment. Failed federal inspection on what grounds, though? Because there's different criteria that the federal government inspects and keeps track of. Val says they will avoid taking kids even when they should sometimes. Yeah, that is also true. When I was a kid, CPS was called 7 or 8 times, and I wasn't taken until the last time, and I should have been taken way earlier. But they do want families together. Yeah, because the point of CPS is not to tear apart families. The point of CPS, and if it was properly funded, it could actually work properly. The point of CPS is to help provide families with the tools to better care for themselves and their children. In Indiana, I want to say this, they have this program where they don't employ social workers to do it. They employ just like regular people who don't have degrees necessarily or anything, to basically be the people that go and check up on families after they have been reunited. Um, and it's not in a legal capacity. It's not like a guardian ad litem. It's not in a social worker capacity like with CPS or CAS. It's literally just someone that the state is paying to make notes on families after they've been, engaged with CPS and there's been punitive or disciplinary actions taken, which I think is a really interesting program, and I think more states should employ that. I know for a fact that when I was a kid, Texas didn't do that. I don't know if they do it now, but they didn't when I was a kid. Kratos says New York CPS would rather take babies to toddlers regardless of home situations. I feel like taking babies and toddlers might make some sense in certain cases because they can't speak for themselves. But you ask a 10-year-old, are you being hit? And a 10-year-old, you can tell they're lying or they're going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? But like a baby can't tell you. You're going to have to take the baby to get, separated, get all sorts of tests run and stuff like that. All right. 3 minutes left. And we're on a 1.25 playback speed, so it'll be shorter than 3 minutes. Thank God. Her voice is so horrible.
Maybe that will be something good to come out of this where they're involved in a kind of a different level than they were previously. The last thing I want to say about this is similar to Thanksgiving, this is going to be the first Christmas that these children have to celebrate from the shelter room. They have to sit in this one room area and hope for any kind of normalcy or getting anything that maybe they asked for, just in such a heartbreaking position. And similar to what I said about Thanksgiving, if you're not going to do it for your kids' well-being from the get-go, holidays should have been their dead stop. We are not going to allow Thanksgiving and Christmas to be in this shelter room. That's it. It doesn't matter what has to happen. That's the end of the road. We will not allow it to happen, and we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that is not what is going to happen. And Thanksgiving happened, and now Christmas is weeks away, and they are in the same position. It's a really tough situation, but like I've said in other videos, I think personally it's important to have this conversation, because as long as they're still posting publicly and nothing good is happening, I feel like it's my right to still give commentary on it, because I don't think that people like Steph and Drew should just be ignored and canceled and written off simply because of the fact that they have children that are having to go through this hell with that. So either way, that's what's going on with all of this. I will be really interested to see the comments, but for now, if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.
I can't stand her. I want to continue milking this family for views and clout. So that's why I think I'm going to keep covering them, even though we shouldn't be giving them a bigger platform. Ah, yes, aim to be out on your own with no furniture and money on Christmas, and not the place that will work with local Christmas donation to provide kids with food and clothes and toys. Exactly. And I know that there have been claims that people have offered housing to Stephanie and Drew. I know that there have been, there was a thing where they were asking for someone to co-sign for them on housing, which was weird. Please, no one go asking for strangers to co-sign on things for you. But there's the commentary about the Resilient Jenkins is reaching a point beyond absurdity, because there are so many things legitimately that we could talk about with the Resilient Jenkins that is objectively just like, what are you doing? Like, Stephanie doesn't take the children anywhere, largely because the car that they have is too small. But there's, parks and stuff within walking. They're in Portland, folks. Like, there's mass transit there, unlike places like here, where like if they were in the city that I'm in, you could still walk to the zoo, but like it's across a highway and that's kind of dangerous. We don't have mass transit in this city. Or if we do, it is so poorly advertised, I just don't know it exists. And Amtrak comes through here. Anyway, um, the Stephanie's lack of taking the children to do anything is kind of a big deal. She was criticized for that. She started taking the kids to the library. That's still something, right? She got criticized for that though, because she didn't take her toddler with them to the library because he is, Stephanie has diagnosed him as autistic and he has like meltdowns and stuff. So they didn't take him to the library with them and she got criticized for that. It's very much a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation with the Jenkins. And coverage like Brit's is literally just making it worse because now Stephanie is posting videos like when those pregnancy cravings hit and then deleting the post before anyone can comment on it. But long enough that people can get screenshots of the video and overanalyze it. And so what's happening is people like Britt and these other people covering the Resilient Jenkins, like on the Facebook page and stuff like that, they're posting, oh my God, look what Stephanie posted. People are flocking to her page. They are engaging with all of her content, giving money to her, which I'm not even going to say is a bad thing because eventually they're going to get enough money and they're going to be able to get out of that place. But again, they're in fucking Portland. Portland is one of the most expensive cities. They're in an area that is so expensive. The cost of living is so high that they only have one W-2 income, and that is Drew. He works at a grocery store. And then they have Stephanie's freelance income, her 1099 income, which comes from her social media stuff. You can't get, there are a lot of people that will not lease to people who have a 1099. There are a lot of people who will just straight up say, nope, you need to have a W-2 thing so that we can prove the constancy of your income. And if Drew is working at a grocery store, even if he's a night manager, as he claims, that's not going to be enough to get an apartment because most places want 2.5 to 3 times the rent, even if you're in an income restricted apartment complex. And in Portland, and I know this because we were going to move there a couple of years ago, in Portland, all of the income restricted apartment complexes are waitlisted for years, some of them. Now, there are some just on the north side of Seattle that don't have a wait list right now, but like that is literally like, what is that, Val? Like 3 hours from Portland to Seattle, the north side of Seattle. Like you have to get through all of that traffic. Like, come on. Like there's no way that Drew should have to quit his job now to move up there. And then people's argument is, well, Drew works at Safeway. He can just transfer. Yeah, there's usually a time limit and you have to be approved for a transfer from one grocery store to another. Like you can't just be like, hey boss, transfer me up to this store where they don't know me. They haven't, accepted my transfer. That takes time. So like there's all of these people having all of these opinions and all of these feelings about the way that the Jenkins are going about things without understanding anything about what it's actually like to be homeless or live in poverty. And there's a lot of one of the creators, Curse Die. I had previously been like, I really like her. I really like the way she covers things. No longer do I think that or like that. She really pissed me off a couple of videos ago because she started playing into this same shit that Britt is playing into. And it's all about, there's no grace. And I'm not saying that the Jenkins deserve grace, but you know who does deserve grace? Those children. Do you know what's going to happen to those children when they grow up and they see all this shit online about their parents? Because the children know what the truth is. Stephanie and Drew know what the truth is of this entire situation. All of this commentary here is pure speculation because they're taking things out of context. Like you just saw it with Britt. You just saw it in this video. Stephanie is talking about how it's not fair that the kids were so well behaved for Drew while she was in the hospital. And Britt's like, well, you don't get kudos for being a good parent. Like, that's not what she was saying. She's like, God damn it. Why? Why are they like that for him and not me? It is literally the most ridiculous coverage of anything that I've seen in all of my years watching commentary content on the internet. And it's just maddening. And like right now, the script I have is already about 3 hours long. So we'll see how much longer it gets before I'm finally done with this. Anyway, back to tattoos and anniversaries. Next year, because now that things have like sort of evened out in terms of job stuff here in my house, I plan to get that video out. I have a couple other videos that I'm scripting and in various processes of filming. I also don't want to start putting out too much content in December because December is like kind of a bad month for putting out content. So January it is. I really, really, really want to get this this video out. I think it's going to be like 5 hours long by the time I'm done with it though, but we'll see. We'll see. If y'all think of any kind of commentary creators that you want to see me cover in the video that I'm talking about, specifically about how they cover people and how their coverage of a topic has made that person or topic worse, comment down below and tell me who I should add to this video, because I've already got like 6 creators, but you know. Val says we need an Elden Ring night next year, like once a month even. No, we should absolutely do that. Like 100%. My nights now, the only nights that I'm basically not free are Mondays and Tuesdays. Every other night, I'm free. But yes, we should do Elden Ring night. I got a new tattoo the other day. It was super cool. It's like moon phases on my thumb. Once it's all healed up, I'll probably post a picture. But like right now, it's kind of grody because it's like only been 2 days, 3 days. The guy who did the tattoo was really sweet and I really like him. And my partner got his first tattoo ever. So we're going to go back and definitely get more tattoos from this guy. He was super awesome. But also later this month, we are celebrating one of my partners and I are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Later this month, we're going to go spend the night spend a couple of nights in Dallas, and we're going to go eat at the Reunion Tower and stuff like that. So that is really fun. I'm so excited that I made it to 10 years with the same person and haven't once considered pushing them off a cliff. Okay, maybe once or twice, but not like seriously, you know. Anyway, 10 years is a big deal, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited about this tattoo. This was our 10-year anniversary gift to each other in a way. So that's really fun. Anyway, half the nights I'm available, I see how it is. Yeah, I'll post a picture of the tattoo while it's still healing in your Discord. But once it's healed, I'll post a picture on my comm tab. I am now being harassed by a different cat. Oh, well. All of my animals decided that since I was busy and ignoring them, they would just all sleep right behind me on the couch. I'll have to get a picture because they're cute as shit. Anyway, congrats on 10 years. Thank you. It's exciting stuff. It's good shit. I don't know how anyone else calculates their anniversaries, but I always go by the first date. Like if we make it past a year, I use our first date as the anniversary. So that would be January 3rd. It will be 10 years since me and Kay met. And then we actually my other partner and I just celebrated a year on the 4th, but we haven't gotten to go on our first year anniversary date yet. That's on Monday. So it's good shit. It's fancy. Anyway, I have to go ferry children from a quote unquote heavy metal concert happening downtown, and I have to take them from there to their various homes before I can bring my children home and then not get out again tonight. So yeah, this was fun. RadiantBritt is bonkers. Yes, ferry children. They are my children. Half of the children that I'm ferrying about the place are my children, so they would be ferry children. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all. And seriously, any commentary or reaction creator that you think has had a detrimental effect on the subjects they cover. I want to hear about it, and I'm going to do research. This deep dive of mine is going to be crazy. It might have to be in parts because it might be too long. But anyway, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad I had stream. I am glad I streamed too. Some of the ones that you already know of that I'm covering are like Hekate's Daughter, Malice Black, and Queen of Karma. So, I might also do Dad Challenge podcast because I think that he's pretty harmful. He's pretty gross. But anywho, thanks for tuning in, y'all. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your night and a happy holidays if I don't see y'all before the end of the year.